NHL tricks or treats. We're going to be going over some things that have been happening in the league, maybe some trends. Is it a trick or is it a treat? We're going to start with the Anaheim Ducks. Frank Vatrano has got 9 goals so far. Anthony, is it a trick or a treat?
I mean, it's a trick. I will say I think Vatrano has found a home in Anaheim. I think he certainly could be a guy that scores 20 goals for them. Maybe even 25, but he's scoring at a torrid pace right now. I mean, you're talking over 50. So that's not going to continue. That's not going to continue. I do like him. I think he's a solid player, but it's a trick.
Absolutely a trick. He's shooting at 29% right now and has 9 goals in 9 games. He's had 2 hat tricks in the span of a week. It's obviously a trick. Good player. Would love to have him back in New York at the right price. He's going to fetch a pretty penny if Anaheim decides to deal him by the deadline. But I'll tell you right now, this is not sustainable. Alexander Ovechkin, career high in shooting percentage, 15.4% in the 2019-20 season. 15.4. That's the greatest goal scorer ever right there. So, no, this is absolutely a trick.
And I'm going to go make it a hat trick of tricks, guys, because it is a trick. And look, Frank Vatrano, man, this guy has got a lot of talent. He could really shoot the puck. He could shoot the puck through the net. But no, it's definitely a trick. He's career high in goals, 24. Maybe he gets a 30 this year. I certainly hope so. I don't think he's going for the Rocket unless he's going to channel his inner Jonathan Chichu, and he would still need Joe Thornton to pass the puck on that one. The Carolina Hurricanes, their goalies, all of them combined, 858 save percentage. Philk, is this a trick or a treat?
This is also a trick. I can't see Anderson being this bad for so long. Kochetkov is actually a decent goalie too. This is not gonna stay like this. Maybe Freddie Anderson isn't posting a 920 save percentage this year. Maybe he doesn't even reach 915, but I still think he probably gets to about 91%. I do wonder about that team though, with Brett Pesce being out long term.
Yeah, this is a trick. This is a team that uncharacteristically has struggled with their defensive play. I mean, that's not what Rod Brind'Amour is about. They're going to get this turned around. I'm pretty confident of that. It's a trick.
Borrowing a line from Ranger Central in the chat, this is a layup trick yet again, and really a hat trick because, look, it's Rod Brind'Amour. I'll put my faith in Rod Brind'Amour. The save percentages go up. Now, when it gets to the playoffs, I'm not sure if I'm going to be exactly comfortable with those 3 goalies playing the way they are right now. They will get a little bit better. They have Dylan Larkin, 4th in the NHL in scoring. He's got 15 points. Trick or a treat? Guys, you know what? Something's different about Dylan Larkin this year. I'm actually going to go treat on this because I think Dylan Larkin, he's playing really well. Do I think he's going to be 4th in scoring? No, but I think he's going to make some noise in the scoring race.
I wish there was a middle ground option for this because it's not a trick, but it's also not a treat. I don't see him scoring 100 points. But if you told me that Dylan Larkin would end this season around 85 points, I wouldn't be shocked. This line is arguably the best line in hockey right now with him, Raymond, and DeBrincat. So I'm for the game itself. I'm gonna go treat just because I don't think that this is something that's just gonna completely fall off.
Yeah, if it was bar talk, it's an easy beer.
I'm gonna go treat. I mean, this is a guy that came from high pedigree. He had 79 points last year. I mean, this isn't a case of again Frank Vatrano having 9 goals. Dylan Larkin is a very skilled player, and he's had a really good year. So I'm not saying he's going to score 100 points, but I still think this is a treat. He's a good player.
But let's look at the best team in the Eastern Conference right now, the Boston Bruins, 8-0-1.
I think it's it's almost 10 games in. I think it's enough of a sample size to say like, okay, well, maybe we were a little bit wrong about them not being good. But with that said, I'm still going to say trick though, because again, the majority of their teams they've beat have been bad teams. Like I said, they beat Chicago twice. They actually lost to Anaheim the second time they played them, but they beat Anaheim, they beat San Jose. They haven't been playing very good teams. I mean, their most impressive win was probably either the Kings, I guess, or maybe the Panthers. I think they played the Panthers recently. I want to see them, kind of, consistently start to play some better opponents and see what their record is. But I mean, you don't want to be a hater. You can't deny it. 8-0-1 is great. I still just think this is a little bit of a trick.
Why does Anthony have to go first and say all the things that I want to say? I mean, you look at their schedule. They beat Chicago. Okay, Nashville may be a better team than we all thought, but they beat them, and Nashville wasn't slated to be a good team. San Jose, garbage. They're still winless. LA was probably their best one of the season. They beat Florida in overtime. They beat Detroit 4-1. Actually, Detroit might be their best game of the season.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
they beat a good Detroit team. Detroit's proving to be a pretty good team so far. So they beat like one or two good teams, and the rest of the teams that they've played are pretty weak. So I'm not totally sold on this yet. I'm going to say trick.
I wish I had a middle ground on this one, but it's going to force me on something. I'm going to have to go treat right now, and that's just because I'm with you guys. I want to see more out of them, but I think they set the blueprint for what they're going to do. They're going to be a low-scoring team that will beat you defensively all day, and if that's what their blueprint is, that's what they're going to try to win with. It might just work.
Yeah, Pasternak at 14 points already, so yeah.
Another team that off to a good start, the Vancouver Canucks, 6-2-1. Philk, trick or treat?
I'm going to have to say treat. Something about this team looks different in the way that they're playing their games. I mean, they battled the Rangers. And yeah, the Rangers, I know, I said they were groggy. They looked like they were at the end of a road trip. But they battled the Rangers. I watched them again last night, and they were playing Nashville. Nashville played them hard. They played them real hard, and they battled in that game. Those two teams absolutely went at each other tooth and nail. So I think Vancouver may be for real, and Elias Pettersson may not be going anywhere anytime soon because he might see the progress that they want to see in order to keep him.
I'm going to go treat too. I like what I see out of him. I think Pettersson's poised to have another monster year following up his 100-point year last year. Rick Tocchet has a fresh start, with a new start of team, fresh from camp right off the get-go. I think he's earned their respect. I think he has the room, and they got other good pieces. Quinn Hughes playing well, JT Miller, they Kuzmenko. They got good pieces, and I think it's kind of starting to come together for them.
Guys are going to treat all the way. They were my surprise team going into the season. I said that they were going to be the last team to get into the playoffs, and you know what? I'm going to go with that. Healthy Thatcher Demko, Elias Pettersson playing on a extremely high level. He's up there with the league leaders in scoring. And I want to put a question for this. We'll discuss it another time. Quinn Hughes, he just might be throwing his hat into the ring for the Norris Trophy. So that is it for our tricks or treats, guys. What do you think about them? And did you have some of your own? We'll see if we can get some of those in the comments later.
Please like and subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of great hockey content and an entertaining interactive podcast. So check us out and our library of videos.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.